Hey everybody, my name is Dixon, and thank you for this opportunity to share my testimony. My journey to Jesus began, I would say, probably when I was just a little girl. But it wasn't until probably around 1982 that I actually considered, wow, what am I doing with my life? Maybe I should do this thing and get saved. So I give my life to God, and I'm expecting this change, and I don't feel any different, and I don't sense anything different. I go off to college, and that is a whole nother story. Let's just say I partook in riotous living. My sister invited me to church, and I'd say, no, I don't want any parts of the church. She goes, well, okay. All right, so you don't want to come to service, I got that. Just why don't you come and just hang out, sit in the back while we do the rehearsal. But of course, you go to the rehearsal and you see all the hard work they put in. Most definitely had to be there on Sunday to see how well they did. A male chorus began to sing, and I don't know the title of the song, but I always remember just they were singing, and they were singing with such heart. And I tell you, all of a sudden the atmosphere shifted in that little church, and I gave my heart to Jesus for the very first time. Before, it was all about words, and even after this, I did get back, slid right into the performance-based, living the Christian life and doing all the right things. And no one ever taught me how to nurture my relationship with God. So eventually, of course, I end up back out where I was. So time goes by, and probably now maybe about 26, 27, and I meet my husband, and I am just immediately smitten. And of course, I don't want to go to church, but guess what? He's a youth pastor. So I'm back at church again, and within a year's time, not only am I married, I become a mom of a beautiful baby girl. Hey, Natalie. The day comes where finally it's like, okay, I have children now, and I'm teaching them about a God that I am not that familiar with right now. And again, with arms outstretched, I completely said yes to God again. So it's just like, oh man, he just keeps coming after me. As time goes on, my husband and I, we begin a ministry. I don't know what it is about the routine of things, but it just begins, and after a while, you just play the role. I think that deep down I was just waiting for one more excuse to justify running away from God. And there was an unfortunate incident that happened at this church which gave me an excuse to be able to leave. That was 5 years ago. And from that point until almost now, until I started here, I was de-churched. I had no place to go until that one day, my beautiful baby girl wakes up on a Sunday morning. She's like, Mom, I'm taking you to breakfast. Of course, what do you do after you eat all that food? You need to walk around. So we're like, we're gonna go shopping. So we ride down the road, Jefferson Road, here we come. We're like, let's hit up that Goodwill. And Natalie looks up and she goes, Epic Church, what's that? So, walk down here, the doors open, whoosh, and we are sucked in. Natalie's at the Connect desk, she's talking to Jackie, she's nodding, she's going, yeah. And then she goes, next thing I hear, she goes, we'll be here next Sunday. And I'm like, oh, I did not say that I was coming back here. She's like, oh, come on, Mom, we're gonna come. And I came in, still enjoying my de-churched status, and so I'm watching my daughter for the first time actually taking notes during church. Not only is she taking notes, but she's putting it in the binder and she's collecting it. She's bringing it each time we come, and I'm looking like, what is she doing? And she goes, Mom, I get it. And she says, this is my church. They shared a video during the service of how people from this church went down into the city and began to give away things. And I'm thinking, that's what I'm talking about when I think about church, that, we're doing something for people. Little by little, a change began to occur. I don't know. Guys, I just started growing. And it was just so good to hear a message, not about what I needed to do for God, but just focusing on what He had already done for me. Every Sunday that I came, I kept hearing the same message. Hey, God loves you, April. He loves you. And it just reminded me of that first experience I had with Him when I felt His great love. It feels really good to be a part of the family here at Epic. And that's my story. What's yours?
Wake within me, wake within me.